All right, greetings, y'all. This is Body-Culinary. A lot going on here. I was just on Facebook for just a few seconds, so I haven't been using it as much, so I'm not really understanding how to use it. But anyway, we have some nutrition to do because somebody's coming to take me to the resort, honey. They got food, so we got to get it in. So I don't go anywhere empty-handed without my food. That's like carrying my wallet. So we're going to throw something together based on what we have available. And I'm going to take something with me to have by the pool. Hint, hint. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm Body-Culinary, professional chef, personal trainer, natural born woman, love of a natural lifestyle, or as close as I can get to it in the times that we're living in. And on this, thank you so much. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I've got so many, so much positive vibrations. Thank you so much. So, on this channel, I love to share some of my journey of radical self-acceptance, celebrating the unique features that have been divinely assigned while in this particular life existence. I'm appreciating it. And I also love to share 3 lifestyle practices: peaceful consumption, food that loves you back, a personal movement practice that's just part of your day, and garden therapy. These are 3 lifestyle practices, leverage lifestyle practices that give you so much more back for the investment of your time and attention, especially while here on the internet. So for those folks that are part of the Flower Fit community or that are interested, I have posted a link for the Discord. You need to fill out the Flower Fit application. You'll be coming through the Body-Culinary server. So you'll need to download the Discord app, right? And I need to identify for each email who the person is because I'm very passionate about creating a safe space. Since Resman love tours, they don't like you back. Oh, that's unfortunate. But give thanks you have somebody good in your life, right? So I'm going to make something to take along with me based on what it is that I have here, right? So I have 2 different varieties. What I have on hand right now is some cucumber or pepino, right? 2 different varieties, and they're not heavily waxed. I don't see any wax on these. This is why I love local farmers. I have half of red pepper, which is fantastic for glowing skin. And I also have cilantro. I just planted some more out in the garden. So whatever I don't have, I'll supplement with what I have from local farmers and what I have in the garden. So my stuff in the garden is not ready. So also today, birthday fruit, I have some mamey. For those folks that are not familiar with mamey, this is like literally sweet potato pie coming right out of a fruit off the tree. So this is delicious. I'm going to save this so I can scoop this into the bag and go. I also have avocado. This one I'm not sure if it's ripe yet, but both of these things I can throw right in the bag with me. I can scoop and go. I also have okra. I have red okra, African variety of okra growing out in the yard. I do snack on okra. So these are things when I think of healthy skin or when people think I have good skin. My skin was looking like Pop Rocks before because I was eating years of junk, and then I transitioned to health junk. It was still highly processed, but it was fruit juice sweetened, and it was a lot of processed tofu and soy and a lot of processed starch. So there are usually several reasons why between activity or lack of quality activity or not enough activity, heavily processed foods, you can still put on additional adipose tissue weight. That's not muscle weight. You can also put on extra water retention from a lot of the sodium in the foods. So there are several reasons why you can be vegan or vegetarian and still put on unhealthy weight. Love to make those distinctions, and we go over that a lot in Flower Fit coaching and community, right? Fitness coaching, cutting the guesswork, and nutrition, whole, fresh, unprocessed food nutrition. So that being said, I just cut the top and the bottom off of the pineapple. And as with what I usually do with the pineapple, I break off the outer piece around. I'm going to trim the sugary parts of the fruit flesh off of it so that I can plant this. I'm going to sprout this. Sprouts are going to go right from this piece, and then I can put this in the ground. So this is something great to try with your children, right? So I have my pineapple here, and I don't want to take too long because I have people waiting for me. And then I also have some sprouts that are still here, some mung bean sprouts that I've been growing. But the mung bean sprouts, that's not going to go in our mix. So I'm going to cut skin off of the pineapple, and I can use this for a tea, right? Instead of spending on Kool-Aid or whatever drink mix is the popular drink mix today, or these flavored drinks, you're not really getting any nutrition. You're getting sugar, and this has a piece that's not that great. You're usually getting a whole lot of sugar without any nutrition in it. So you're getting carbs, or you're getting artificial sweeteners, but your cells know the difference. Your skin knows the difference with real, fresh, whole living food. So that's why I like to make the distinction of living water. Most of our body is water, so we want really high quality water. And also we want the fiber, because your gut, which is also known as your first brain, your gut, the good bacteria inside of your gut, it needs fiber for it to grow and proliferate and to eat and to feed off of, right? So we have our pineapple. So I am going to cut the core out. The core is more fibrous, and I can use every part of this. And I'm definitely going to use the skin. This is it's really hot, so when you're in a hot climate, one of the good things is that your fruit will ripen. In the colder regions, they're usually importing the fruit, and make sure you cut out any pieces of any of the pineapple seed or any pieces that look like they're going too dark, right? And I see a chunk over here that I don't want. So instead of buying pineapple, because it's on sale, and I do understand a budget, instead of buying it inside a can instead of corn syrup, you can cut up your own pineapple, especially when the price is lower or it's in season or there's a good deal, and you can cut up your own fresh fruit and freeze it yourself rather than having all of this syrup. The corn syrup in the food and the fruits in the can is deadly. And sometimes there are several different sugars in there. So I'm going to cut off the core because I don't want to eat that. Sometimes that can make your mouth irritated. Right, so cut off any of those pieces of the skin. And again, the skin I can save to make a beautiful turmeric tea with fresh turmeric. Anytime you can get it fresh, I think that is preferable, right? To use the whole fresh living ingredients. Why? Because it has medicine in it, right? So I've got that. And let's take a little bowl. Another little bowl. And we're going to take the rest of our red pepper, right? Again, anything that's a whole fresh food that has the seeds in it, greetings, Carolyn. I usually will save the seeds. So if I eat it, I'm paying for it, especially if it's organic. I'm going to take those seeds and put them in the ground, right? So I invite you to start thinking of, the fresh plants. You may be thinking of our food as inanimate objects, but it's whole, fresh, living food. So if it has seeds in it, plant it. This is going to teach you some really, really important natural lessons, right? For those folks that are making the effort to lose unhealthy weight or adipose tissue, it can make all the difference in really helping you to get a new mindset and reframe your thinking around your eating, especially if you find yourself very addicted. I was very addicted to certain foods because they're addictive today, especially when they're more processed. So I don't always take the skin off. Today I'm going to take the skin off. So I'm just using a peeler to take off the skin. And all of these peelings give me great compost, which is going to put more nitrogen and nutrition back into the soil in my little garden. And also, this is one of my favorite waters, is the water from the cucumber, right? So rather than just making straight fruit juice as I used to many years ago, unless you were training really, really intensely and athletically, that's the only way that I would be drinking any kind of fruit juice. Happy birthday, your content is healing needed. I appreciate it. Oh, thank you so much, Shia. So I'm using these cucumbers. So if you're part of Flower Fit, everyone submits pictures of their foods and also their workouts. So I also coach you in using your heart rate monitor, those fancy trackers that you pay for that perhaps you're not maximizing, right? So you can really learn, why am I getting results? Why am I not getting results? Why am I eating so-called healthy and my weight in terms of my composition is not shifting? Why is it not shifting? Well, that means more than likely there's a blind spot. There's something that you're not aware of, right? Or either that or there's something that you might get just a little bit of cognitive dissonance about. So always check your fruit to cut off any pieces that are looking kind of interesting. Now, when you pay a bit more money for certain varieties of fruit, something really exotic or expensive or organic, I don't like to waste the skin on that. So I will be eating that whole, right? Because the skin has a lot of nutrition, right? And I know, again, that natural silicone, that particular mineral is excellent for your nails, your skin, and your hair. So this one, it's a rare variety. It's almost similar to a hothouse, but not exactly a hothouse cucumber. So I'm not taking my skin off of this. I will be eating this skin. And again, I've got several things I can scrape into the bag and go. I scoop and I go. I scoop and I go. So that's one of the things that's so freeing with this way of eating. So the other thing, Ma'al, is I have some cilantro, one of my favorite foods. So when you're moving quick, I have several little quick tools. Look, you can get these from the discount store, right? So I'm going to take my cilantro, and usually my bunnies, they will eat everything. A lot of times they'll even eat the root. You know that certain roots do have nutritive properties in it. The stem, the root, the leaf, the tree, all the different parts of the plant have different healing properties. We're going to cut this off though right now. We're going to wash that. So I'm going to use all parts of the plant because it's all, we talk about plant medicine, but I think we're just very disconnected, right? Because these are the ways of the mothers and the grandmothers, and this stuff is just not being passed down. It is not being passed down. Sometimes you can find the cilantro is more dirty, has more dirt on it than at others. But also, and you're washing your food, I'm always paying attention to the food. Like, food is very sensual. So I'm inspecting the color, the freshness, the aromas of the food. This is a big part of what's missing. If you're not handling your own food, it's likely that you're missing out on a lot of information from the food. The food, I like to say, is talking to you, right? So we have our cilantro, we have pineapple, we have cucumber or pepino, and we have the red pepper. So I'm going to use not the Vitamix. We're not going to use the Vitamix today. We're going to use the NutriBullet because I think most people today have NutriBullets. I'm just going to cut this into a rough chop. If you have a blender that's not so fancy, maybe you have one of those Oster blenders from back in the day. Maybe I should turn on the light. That might be a good idea. So if you have a one of those old school blenders, then you may want to cut your produce up a bit smaller, right? And then also a lot of the time, I don't know that I'll need it today, but a lot of the times I use my plant milk bag. So it looks like produce bags. But this one I made myself because I know I've been using these for years. And this one, if you can actually make your juice without a juicer. I love this. I use this for sprouting. I use this to make vegetable cheeses without all that funky stuff, the casein, which is still from the cow's stomach. And let me say here, this is not a divisive channel. Everyone, whatever label you choose to call yourself, can benefit from more whole, fresh, living, unprocessed fruits, vegetables, seeds, nuts, and fresh ground spices. So you'll have to find whatever that sweet spot is for you. So I'm not here to demonize anybody on your food choices. I used to have a Jerry Curl, Gold Tooth, fried chicken, potato chips, cheese doodles. So, we're all on a different spot in our journey, right? And it may fluctuate over time. I really don't think we need to be shaming ourselves or other people for your food choices, right? Some people may be eating the best of what's available to them or what their parents are serving them. We have different individuality. So it's a personal journey, right? So this is as a plant milk bag. If anybody wants one, do reach out to me. Thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you, Jacqueline, the visionary, for the birthday wishes. So doing some nutrition today because I don't like to go anywhere. I'm about to go to a little resort, honey, and chillax. And I don't go anywhere. This is something for like over 3 decades. I don't go places without food. That's a setup. I was the one at the buffet or when there's, an event going on and everybody's on the dance floor and I'm at the buffet table just eating everything. So you have to know yourself and what works for you. And I've also been thinking, depends on who you are and how serious your situation is. Because my acne was off the charts, and also I have a family pattern of diabetes, obesity, heart disease, thyroid issues. And I don't like needles, so I knew what was waiting for me. I gain weight. I can gain weight very, very easily. I really enjoy eating. I have a Caribbean and a Southern flavor palette. So I don't need to play any games, right? My food has to be delicious and sustainable, or there's no way I'll be able to maintain this for this many years where I don't feel like I'm dieting. And I feel like I have my food to look forward to, and I don't want to have to wear a whole bunch of makeup because I want to go jump in the pool right now and it's hot. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put the cucumber, the pepino, in here, right? And I don't even need to use all this pineapple at one time, but then I am going to share this with other folks. So I have the cucumber. I'm going to use all of that red pepper. And maybe I'll save some of the cilantro. I definitely want all of the cucumber. So when it comes to a lot of fats, even if they're good fats, when it comes to fats and azúcar or sugar, we can stretch our fats and our sugar. We can stretch them. Now, this depends, right? If you're one of those folks that is underweight, you have to use your common sense. I invite you to use your common sense and discernment, because you have to live with you in your quiet moments. You know your cravings. You know what you're eating when no one's watching. If you are underweight, I am never in the vein of depriving yourself of nutrition and your cells. I'm thinking from a cellular level. I get the party in your mouth, but I'm not with the depriving yourselves of nutrition, right? There are ways to get it. Now, a lot of us have blood sugar issues and a lot of cravings. A lot of our blood sugar issues will show up in our cravings. And if you have the CANCR, if you have that diagnosis or yeast or certain conditions, you may have cravings that are off the charts. So there are ways to work with your palate without using all of those artificial sweeteners. I know when I used to do fitness competitions, the Splenda, the NutraSweet, the aspartame, the asfocame, that was just commonplace in the fitness industry when you're getting ready for a show. All right, so I'm going to blend this in the Vitamix, not the Vitamix, the NutriBullet, the NutriBullet. So I'm never blending my stuff until it's hot, right? So that's actually a lot of pulp in it. That's a lot of fiber. So a lot of times when we're juicing, we're getting rid of the fiber. I want the fiber. My gut wants the fiber. It's going to help me feel more satiated. There are ways to work with the textures, the flavors, flavor balancing of your food, right? So when people think of juice, I'm using all of this cucumber. Why? Because when I eat a whole bunch of cucumber, and sometimes I get grossed out when I think about the things that are passing through the municipal water system, but you got to use whatever the cleanest water is that you have available. There's some countries where people find it very challenging to get clean water. And I'm not even using that whole fresh pineapple that I cut up. So I can even save some of that for a sauce or something later. So I'm going to stretch out the sugar. So let's add a little bit of ice cubes. Let's add a little bit of ice cubes. Now, actually, it's interesting. I do not like ice cold foods. I really do not. I don't prefer ice cold food. It's blazing hot though. And if I'm going to take this with me and it's hot, I don't want a frothing hot drink that's fermenting when I get to where I'm going. So I can use the ice cubes to chill it. And this may be something it's so dark in here. This may be something that you want to do if you're bringing things with you to work. So we'll put a few ice cubes in here. And let's blend it up. So the red is coming from the red pepper that we put in here. So we're not using a whole bunch of food dye. Okay. So let me show you something else that I have over here. So this is one of my trusty containers. I have several containers that I've lost them numerous times over the years, and I've found them over and again and again. And this one actually can fit. This can actually fit a half a gallon of juice in it. and it will keep things piping hot. If I had a hot tea, it will keep it piping hot for hours. This is a great investment. If I drop it on the ground, it doesn't break. I love this. And I can also, if I want, put ice cubes in here to chill it, and then put something, another liquid inside. So ain't y'all glad you showed up today? You get a nice little class. So let me taste this. Let me see what this is tasting like. Let me smell this. So I've already got a movement practice in. So we're earning our food. I might put a little bit more of the, but I'm going to pour this in because I am going to make some to share. And I'm going to put the rest of the pineapple in here. So I've got all of that cucumber. I'm going to put the rest of the pineapple. So I personally think that sweeteners are very expensive, and I think we just OD on the sweetener. And again, unless you're extremely athletic, and even then, it's a lot of sugar. And sugar, in the absence of that fiber, you're constantly just spiking your blood sugar, which can affect your ability to focus, right? And additionally, it can also drive a lot of craving. So again, me putting the ice cubes in is dual purpose because that can chill, have a nice little chill, and also I don't have to put any kind of sweetener, and I'm stretching my sugar out, right? So this is going to give me like a half of a gallon, right? A gallon's 128 ounces. So this is a 64-ounce container. So I will not be sitting by the pool. And I'm not, I just can't see spending top dollar. I can still fit the rest of this pineapple in, so I have enough to share with my sister. And I usually bring enough to share, right? Because I don't like to make what I'm eating the center of attention. Actually, I like to stay off of the radar. So that pineapple juice that's in there, let's pour that in there. Why am I putting it on the container here? On the NutriBullet. Okay, so again, we've got cucumber, we've got fresh pineapple, and we've got red pepper in here. And that's more like a pineapple milk. Oh my gosh, that's delicious. And it's not overly sweet, and I also have fiber in it. So let's see how much. Good, and it's nice and chilly. Then I can rinse the blender with water. So now it's not just straight liquid juice, right? I have this now. It's going to be nice and chilled. It'll stay chilled while we're moving around about the pool. And I can take this with me. If it drops, no problem. I've had this for like years and several like it. So I can rinse this out with water. I still have some cilantro. So I love when I can rinse things out with water. Oh, that's good. So again, the scraps we're going to put in the compost for the garden. The top, we're going to plant the top of the pineapple. We're going to put this in water so that this sprouts, so that I can put that in the ground. And then the peels of the pineapple, we're going to use that later to make like our own refreshing, like an iced tea. But we're making it from fresh turmeric, not the dry turmeric. If dry turmeric is all you have, you can use that. But all of the skins of the pineapple, we did that. I think we did it. I'm not sure if we did in a previous video. But this is going to go for our turmeric lemonade, right? So we're saving. So we're using everything, right? So this is how you can maximize the money. Not only the money that you spend, but the time and energy you spend shopping, right? Sometimes I'll feed the cucumber slices to my bunnies, right? So bunnies, they're before people look at the cute bunnies and think they want to run out and get them. They can be a very expensive animal. They are, though, a great companion when it comes to eating healthy. So they want to eat greens, leafy greens all day. Okay. So now we have cilantro. So what I'm going to do with the cilantro, I have an option if I want it sweet or savory. Now I can actually chop this up, and I would put a little bit of the cilantro, believe it or not. I would put it with the mamey fruit, right? Maybe even a little bit of pineapple. So go with me, my chef brain here. That's like sweet potato pie with pineapple with a little hint of cilantro. I can even add a little teeny drop of black pepper on it. It's like mixing a sweet and a savory. I also have the option if I want to make a quick green. Yeah, I know I have a list over here. I can make a quick green drink with the cilantro and also with the cucumber. Again, if it's not wax or if it's organic, I'm going to use the whole thing. Ooh, so maybe I could do both. I can stretch it. I can do both. So I will put some of the cilantro aside to chop up and put on my mamey. And the other, I think I'll make a green drink, right? Because we don't need to eat just plain sugar all day. That's not balanced. That is not balanced, right? And you know what's interesting? I often contemplate diabetes, which is really rampant in my family, right? And without sounding really mookajuk, I think if you think about diabetes, I don't know if I want to say the spiritual implications or subconsciously or emotionally part of what's going on. You know, it's like our blood sugar's out of whack, and look at this, is beautiful. See, this is the difference with when you buy local produce. Look at all of those seeds in there. So like you saw with the limes, the Caribbean limes we've been working with, or Jamaican lime, they have so many seeds. A lot of the conventional produce you'll see has no seeds. The skin is very thick and very tough. Totally different. I notice a big difference. The smell and the texture. This actually, let me taste this right now. Wow. So you know what I'm going to save some of these seeds. That's delicious. You know, it's a blessing when you can appreciate the taste of a cucumber. Right? Many of us are eating so much salt. It's dark in here. So much salt, so much sugar, so much maple syrup, so much agave nectar, so much honey. You can't taste the subtle sweetness inside of the food. So green smoothie, one's out. Now, a lot of times, sometimes you can put fruit in a green smoothie. A lot of times, I do not. Now, I don't know if your palates are ready for this, but I like the natural living water, first of all, inside of the cucumber. And I also like the taste of fresh greens, and I also like bitters. These are things that people don't crave, but this is likely what a lot of us are missing. Keep in mind, cilantro pulls heavy metals out of the system, right? So when people say food and nutrition, I literally look to food for my supplements. Years ago, I used to use a million essential oils, a million supplements, you know, all these products. And I think that's really a mindset, you know, something that we're looking for. If I want to, I could put a little bit of ice cubes in it, and I'll put a drop of filtered water in there. Just to get a little bit so I can spin a little bit. And I've been experimenting with different filters that you can use off-grid. So what I'm going to do to balance that flavor out, then I'm not putting bananas in this smoothie, but what I will put, which is one of my favorite things, is local lime. Let's see if I have another one of these local Caribbean lime. Caribbean lime. It's such incentive to grow lime trees because they'll look very different from the limes that you see in the States. They don't have the thick green skin, and they have lots of, they're very orangey, and they have lots of seeds in them. So this is one of the local limes. Let me just squeeze it right in. And after I squeeze the lime through the strainer, if there's any pulp there, I'll turn the lime over and use the lime to actually push the juice through. So I think I'll add a little bit of ice cubes to this. And again, I'm adding the ice cubes so that it'll be chilled, right, by the time I get to where I'm going, to the resort. It'll be nice and chilled. So this is hydrating to me now. So when I think about this compared to, I don't know what's in these drinks. And it's green, and it's blue, and it's red, and it doesn't make, I don't know, my eyes are different now, because if it's not food, you know, if it's one thing this particular period should have, hopefully has taught us, is eating at the cellular level, eating foods that the cells can recognize. Now, you could also, if you wanted to, squeeze this through the plant milk bag if you want it really smooth. But in this case, when I think juice, usually I do want some of the pulp. So this is where having a good, strong blender comes into play. So I know I have another container here. Let me other container. So I'm the queen of containers. So this is one of my tall mason jars. And I usually put a sleeve around it, because if I put hot tea in here, then I'll wind up burning my hand. And I actually bought a lid for it that seals shut. So let's say if you're running out the door very quickly, you can put this right in it. Or if you have one of those cup holders in your car, you know, so you don't spill. I'm always thinking, right? Because again, a lot of times we're taking our food on the road for us. And if you have children, I am a mom. So I remember when I used to be taking the train, or I'm known to have a bag with fitness equipment on one handlebar and a bag of food. I don't go anywhere without food, right? Because then I'm in total control of what I'm eating. There were many years of, you know, I'm going to go somewhere and complain about what they have available. No, it's my responsibility to make sure I'm eating a certain kind of way. And if you have a health condition, or, you know, acne, really intense acne, that can be your incentive. Or a health diagnosis, that can be your incentive to bring your food with you. Bring your food with me is like bringing my wallet. So I know that this glass fits about 20 or 22 ounces of it. Water. Usually I will drink from this in the early day. I usually have one of these upon rising. Usually another one during like an intense workout. Then usually I have what I call green water. If you're taking, if you've taken the 7-day nutritional reset, which is on the site, that's Whole Fresh Living Foods as an introduction, as an overhaul. I drink a lot of what I call green water, which is a bit different than a green smoothie, a little bit different. This really helps you with your cravings without taking a bunch of pills and supplements. So I know I've had several servings of water, not just water out of the filter or out of a bottle from a factory shelf. I'm getting the living water and the nutrition that's inside the food. Whole, fresh, living, unprocessed food. You want pretty skin or healthy skin, because beautiful to me around here is health, right? All of us look our best when we're healthy. So, look at that. That's good, actually. That's actually super refreshing. That's super refreshing. And again, it's been 99, 100, 102, 105 degrees over here. So why would I want to take, you know, if I think of like, and I was an ice cream junk food junkie, but if I'm eating heavy creams and heavy fats, when it's hot outside, usually it's a party in your mouth, but then you wind up feeling very sluggish, and the fat can hold that sugar inside of your bloodstream. So there's a mechanics, there's a science to exercise selection, how many reps, sets. You know, if you look at different athletes, they don't all eat the same or train the same. I like to be very efficient And I really appreciate not having to diet and not having to worry about exercise. So I'm constantly making deposits into the 401k of my health and my vitality. That is from lifestyle. That is a big difference with a natural, healthy lifestyle. I'm not eating processed food. So I've taken it off the table. I'm not twisting my hair. I'm not doing a whole bunch of gels. Recently, though, I've made something that feels like a water-based gel from the fenugreek. So that rinses out with water. So if I want to moisturize or add a little slip, that's what I'm using. I'm literally using the food. I say it, but people, maybe you don't believe me. It's the food. The first product is going inside from the cellular level and also inside my colon and my arteries. And then those are the foods that I'm also putting onto my face. When I'm jumping up and down, doing my movement practice, I'm bringing all of that food throughout my body. So that's how we're rocking it over here. So this is actually delicious. And believe it or not, one time I couldn't even imagine not sweetening tea. There is a point you get to where you don't need to do that anymore. And your palate will clean up. So this is actually delicious. So I can save this with some tomatoes. I do have some new tomatoes. I just put 12 new plants inside the ground, so I'm keeping an eye on those. And I've been mulching around the plants. This is very hot. I don't want the soil to dry out. So I just washed this. I can scoop this into a bag with a little container of seasonings and some tomatoes. Scoop and go. Scoop and go. So to give you an idea of what I'm eating on this lifestyle, how simple it is. I look at so many of the different what I eat channels, and sometimes I feel like it's very complicated. But then again, it might not be. There's so many different. I can learn from anyone. I'm big on keeping things simple because I have other things to do with my time. I want to go out and play. So I'm celebrating my birthday. If you have the Discord link, I'm looking forward to seeing you. If you can make it, we're doing intermittent fasting, aka what Grandma Lou said, when it's dark, stop eating, kitchen is closed, go to bed. And you would be amazed at what your skin is going to do, how it's going to clear up, how weight will just drop off. A lot of it water retention, and how your body can reset from going to bed early. And I think the screens and the tech is very addictive, extremely addictive. I'm not immune, so I make an effort to be a strategist, right, as a form of junkie. So at 9 o'clock, we're doing core, and we're doing a movement flexibility practice. If you just want to come and bring your mat and do your own flow, you're welcome to do that. We do some deep breathing relaxation. 10 o'clock p.m., lights out, and we're letting the body rest and rejuvenate. We say fast, which we can ego trip off of. We're resting until about 10 or 12 noon the next day. And let's see what your body can do. So feel free to fill out the Flower Fit application so that I know who you are, your name, your email if you have any injuries. Fill out the application and download the Discord app if you would like to participate. Because the 3 lifestyle practices are peaceful consumption, food that loves you back, garden therapy, and a personal movement practice. So I'm enjoying my birthday. Yay! Love gifts are welcome. This is my season to receive. So feel free if you find value here. You can always comment respectfully in the comment section. You can like, you can share the video with someone that can use some support. I invite you to create support for yourself, perhaps while you're decluttering, cutting up vegetables and fruit, or doing your stretching on your mat, to replay this video. I know that's one of my top secrets, something I've done for years. So I can always have positive company, even whether it might be yourself, your own company. So shout out to Jacqueline, Visionary, and She X. Thank you for the birthday greetings, and Carolyn, Shepherd, and respect the truth. Create a great day on purpose, and I look forward to seeing you soon. We're going to be celebrating throughout the month of May, my birthday. So come celebrate with me. See you soon.